Doom 2016. You know, that was actually a fun one to beat. I mean, this was released back in May of 2016. And this is technically the fourth Doom game. But this is sort of, you could look at it as a reboot. It's also, as later discovered, a continuation of the original. Because we focus on the Doomslayer throughout this whole game. And this actually has a little bit more story development than the originals. And that I'm actually glad of. So, it does follow, like I say, a similar storyline. One could think of it as an alternate reality, or a throwback in time. I don't know how you want to think about that. But when the game starts, we are basically in a UAC facility. Now, this time around, UAC is working on actually helping with an energy shortage on Earth. And the discovery of Argent energy, well, that's a big boon. However, this is energy from hell. And as they've explored in hell, they find things, including the Doomslayer's sarcophagus, where he's been sealed. And who knows, maybe being in hell all those years has given him immortality. I don't know. But there is a whole backstory, and we get somewhat of the story that gets fleshed out more in the second game, Doom Eternal. But we find out that we've been basically freed by Samuel Hayden, who is the lead scientist who, well, he had brain cancer and he had his mind sort of uploaded into a cybernetic body or a robotic body. Personality, everything. But it seems one of his subordinates, Olivia Pierce, who is in charge of the occult division, oh boy, has made a deal with the demons of hell. Now, she has a degenerative disorder that basically she's in a lot of pain every day, yet she still manages to function. So I have no idea what the demons offered her to make her agree to a deal. But she helps hell invade. Now, it's up to the Doomslayer to stop her and the forces of hell. And things have definitely changed for this one. First off, you are more mobile than when in the original. So, you have to basically make your way through the facility. You have goals that you must obtain. You have to find key cards, which are strewn about on the bodies. You also have a better idea of all the destruction that's been going on. you also find out how the forces of hell are starting their invasion by creating quote gore nests through the facilities that you'll have to occasionally wipe out. Rip and tear time, people. And you're collecting weapons along the way. You actually get a little bit more weaponry than you ever had in the original, and you can level up these weapons thanks to flying drones that you have to basically grab and punch to get or make your selection. Auto maps. And you're getting creatures from both Doom and Doom 2. And it's probably safe to say you even get some creatures that might have appeared. Well, no, I can't say they showed up in Doom 3. But you get, find information about them along the way. You get your primary the first time you encounter them. And it is amazing. It gives you a bit of a rush to fight these things. And in ways to help collect health and armor, you can actually perform what is called glory kills on these creatures, which is indeed very satisfying. It's very messy. Although, in some cases, it's very funny. I mean, some of them you rip out their heart and shove it down their throat. And then they go kerbloop. And it's the devotion they put into this, to what making these creatures look. Well, I gotta say this. I've played Doom 3 for the podcast games my mom found. And it was nice to see some of those designs got transferred over into Doom 2016. Especially for the imps. Some of their design elements got transferred over. I mean, they're fast as frig. And of course, with the system that is out now, you can really get them into maneuvering all over, which is definitely a plus. Now, it does cover some of your basics when you're working through Doom 2016. I mean, you're running through UAC facilities, and occasionally you have to go into hell to beat the crap out of things in hell and get something you may need, or find information, or get past something. And when you come back, well, those forces from hell have been doing a nice little number on the area. And eventually you have to go in again. And of course you will eventually find the BFG. Now the BFG has its own special slot now, and its own individualized weapons, or weaponry. Also the same for the chainsaw. The downside is the chainsaw also needs fuel. Which I like that there's chainsaw fuel all about Mars. It's like they got the idea from another game. But I'm not going to go there. There's not much you could say about ripping and tearing through all the demons and all that. They give you challenges along the way in the game to improve, earn points to upgrade your weaponry, and runes, which are their own little tests to obtaining everything you need, runes that can help you. I think I got all of them when I played through it. I didn't get all those little secret little mini guys. You got like 2 mini guys on each level that you have to find. And some of the challenges they have are kind of clever, and some are kind of difficult. However, as you go through and you fight against these monsters and denizens of hell, and get all these weapons, which there are now more of, like I said. But they also, like I said, I like that they gave certain weapons their own designated slot to bring out. Because nothing, and they're all individual weaponry too, so that's another plus, because you you don't have to worry about wasting all your weaponry for one by using another weapon. I mean, you got a pistol that fires argent blasts, so it basically has infinite ammo. Although with one rune or something, or while you use it, if you get over a certain health and armor, you can actually have infinite ammo on all your weapons. Oh, I could have just obliterated things if I just played with that for a bit. But I didn't. Didn't even think about it till now. But as we move through, we're actually reliving some of the original. Although, boss-wise, the game only has, quote, 3 types of bosses in the game. But you also, in turn, play out the game in a similar stance to the original Doom. I mean, eventually you run across 2 Barons of Hell who you have to defeat in order to progress, although they're not at the end of the level. Then when you get to the end of another level, could be the equivalent of your second mission in the original game, you fight a cyber demon. And you had to fight this bastard twice. And I guess he remembers you. It's like, gives you that look and pulls you right into his arena area. It's like, I remember you. And he's got some new tricks. I gotta give him props for that. Tricks that, now that Doomslayer can jump, and it's easier to strafe in this one than it was in the original, in my opinion. But that's my opinion. You have to really keep moving and prepare to unload every weapon you have. And you have to actually beat him twice. He just has like a reboot that allows him to, after you first defeat him, and then like a recharge reboot where you have to then, you're in what seems like hell and you have to beat his ass again. Then rejoin Hayden on the ice caps, because that's where Vega central unit is at, because they're going to shut down Vega, who is sort of your information center in some ways, to drag you into hell again, so you can, finally bring this all to an end. This is, of course, after you find the Crucible. And to get that, you're fighting Hell Guardians. This was something completely new to me. You have to fight 3 of them. It's like a little worm-like thing in a mech suit. And when you get done fighting 1, 2 more show up. And I'm like, what the fuck? Honestly, I did not expect that. I mean, I've seen parts of some playthroughs of this, but I'm like, whoa. But after that, you end up kicking their butts and getting your crucible, then go through and shut down Vega's cooling systems. It gets very hot. I'm going to be honest, from what they've all said. And like, you have this on the ice cap and have to have cooling systems on top of that just to keep this thing cool and running. Okay, you're talking hot stuff there. And you go back into hell, or Argentinur. I think that's how they put it. You also have your first, I think, time in that section encountering sentinels, the night sentinels, which they're more in spirit, and you get some of their lore in the game. Actually, all throughout your hell levels, you get get information regarding to how the demons viewed the Doomslayer. About an epic battle between him and the Icon of Sin, and all that. Now you're doing that as you're shutting down the energy to the well, to the way they're powering to get through. And after shutting down those 3 points, you now go down to face Pierce, who gets turned into the Spider Mastermind. This battle is epic, with added dangers of the thing shocking the floor, weaponry like crazy, pillars that you can jump upon before that all happens. This thing flips itself around. You got one hell of a battle ahead of you, and it's going to take everything you have. Luckily, this is not a battle in which you have to have a restart. But I'll say performing a glory kill on this thing is your most epic move. Now, once you beat the Spider Mastermind, it's back to the facility. But Dr. Hayden has one little issue. And that's the fact that Earth has become dependent on the Argent energy. It's key in keeping the planet going, so to speak, at its current level. So he's not about to shut the portal. Not permanently. He takes the crucible from you, which the crucible turns into a big nasty energy sword. I'll be honest, that's impressive. But he heads back. He then transports you away. But he's certain that we'll meet again. Now, it's the kind of thing that would almost make me think that Hayden's a bad guy. But honestly, I can't fully say that. And that's, of course, knowing about Doom Eternal. Why can't I say he's not a bad guy? Well, it's very simple. he is conflicted. He knows that the Argent energy helps Earth. He knows of the dangers of hell. But now he has to hope that they can control or use it in a safer way, being prepared for those occasional attacks now. But when he says that we'll meet again, that does seem to hint that another installment is there. And it is. It's called Doom Eternal. So, actually knowing now that there is the sequel and it helps explain things more, I do think this was a good game. If I had was able to get this and play this through before Doom Eternal came out, I would have been very pissed with that ending of a cliffhanger. I hate cliffhanger endings. But knowing that there is Doom Eternal, knowing I have it, I'm not too upset with this ending. This is a great game. Like any Doom game, it's something you have to really experience. And I definitely want to play through it and try and collect all the, retro levels. That was actually a brilliant thing that they added in. At certain points, you could pull a lever, open up an area, and you get a retro level. And if you play through those retro levels, it's kind of weird but humorous because you're playing through these old levels with the old graphics. But Doom Guy and the enemies, they're all, the ones from the 2016 game. So it's kind of weird, but fun. You don't even need to, worry about some of the things that were more detrimental, like got a race to get to this thing before it goes back up. It's like, oh, I didn't get there in time. Well, I can jump up there, you bastard, with Doomslayer. I can just jump. And it's kind of neat seeing some of the stuff that you could pick up the items that are in the classic, like the armor and the health vials. Not necessarily the weaponry though. But it's neat. It's a neat little thing to do. I find that enjoyable. I mean, you had let's see, you have let's see, I've only unlocked 2 of them. But it's like full levels, maybe retooled to allow for Doom Guy's actual size. But it's kind of fun just to play it with that weird contrary thing, the weirdness. But like I said, it's a great game. It's fun to play, and it's a great. You can think of it as a remake. You could think of it as a reboot, but it does do the original justice, and it pays tribute to the original. And that's all I'm going to say about Doom 2016. I hope you enjoyed listening to me ramble on about this, and hope you subscribe to the channel and everything. Till then, have fun all. Bye.